Welcome to Planetary Health First, Mars Next. This is awesome. We are live at VIVE, and we have Joshua at GOZIO Health, and we are going to learn a lot of what they're up to. We got Neil Carpenter, my co-host, with us. And so what are we doing today here? Tell me about what you're working on, Joshua. We're really excited.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Michael and Neil, as well. Glad you're joining us today. Awesome to see you. So what we're working on in general at GOZIO this year, last year we opened up our platform, and this year is really the ideas that came to, here's what we'd really like to do with your platform. Here's what's important for our business with the different health systems, working with them to make those basically come to fruition. Whether that's we want to integrate AI into our platform, whether it's I want to take the platform and apply it to our staff, right? Staff are setting people's hair on fire, so we're working with our clients to do that. So really tying a mobile platform to business objectives is what we're working on this year.
Awesome.
So Joshua, can we just just step back? So if you're just talking to a health system who has never heard of you before,
yeah,
can you just kind of talk about a few key use cases and some of the main things you do?
First thing I'd want to know is, how did my marketing miss you, right? Because you should have heard of us.
Fair.
But what they need to know about us, really, we have solved the problem of how do we get patients and visitors to engage with their health system on the mobile phone. We constantly meet health systems that maybe have done some sort of outreach or some sort of mobile app, and it has 2 users a day, right? Just absolutely miserable. And so we can come in with our platform and pick up where they left off and get them quickly to 5,000, 10,000 users a day. So real honest to goodness engagement on mobile with a platform that is labeled for that system. So if I'm going to Yale, I'm downloading the Yale app. And on that has all of the digital resources that the hospital has to offer in a convenient form that is on our problem-solving companion that we lug around every day, right? We saw a survey, I don't know, maybe it was a year ago now, that you are much more likely to turn around and go home and pick up your smartphone that you forgot than your wallet.
Yep.
Your wallet, you're like, I can live without it for a day. Your phone, your car probably didn't even start without your phone in it, right? So we know that our phones are with us and our problem-solving companions today, and we're engaging people on those.
So when you're doing this, who are you working on or with the health systems? Tell us about your process.
Yeah. So we used to be focused on marketing. And what's happened over the last probably 2 years is now where we used to have to go evangelize. This is really important to meet people where they are and kind of tell our story. Now it's flipped. They come to us. There's been a group put together. It's going to include someone from IT, usually the CIO. It's going to include someone from marketing. So there's going to be a group that's been pulled together with an initiative to how the heck do we engage people in our catchment area on mobile. So it's really nice for us because we go and they've already done the preaching, right? So we come in and help them sort of plot a course for how to get them where they want to go.
I'm kind of curious nowadays because I used to help run this for a health system, and so board members, physicians would have opinions on advertising, would have a lot of stuff. So do you get inbound? Like, how do you and if you do, how do you navigate the app should be like this, or this is how we should be engaging people, from sort of like any random person who has a phone thinking they know how to design and drive this?
We call this the idea ferry. The idea ferry comes in, these ideas float down, and we see that as a great sign. Hey, people are engaged, they have these ideas. And so the way that we approach it is our platform is open. And if there's something that needs to be designed there that we don't currently have, we can design it. You can design it. We can have a third party to design it. And quite often, in the process of thinking through what would this actually mean in practice, many of them don't make it past that step, right? So, but there are, there's 10 crazy ideas, but one of those, when you look at it slightly differently, can be super compelling. And then you combine that with something else, and suddenly you're doing something that you hadn't imagined before. So we love those crazy ideas because in them are buried some real nuggets of truth. And I think we've distilled down quite a few of those over the years that are now just part of our platform, but were a crazy idea at one point in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's interesting when you think with apps and the experience, the user design experience, and what is important to Yale might be not important to another hospital. So how do you drive how do you do that when you come in?
So what's neat is they seem different, but really we've all been trained, and we've been trained through our daily experiences with mobile apps already. What should a map be like? We've all been trained on Google Maps. This is kind of what we expect. Like, we see Waze as different, but really it's really, really similar. So we have expectations that we don't even know. Open table, convenience, how things should work. And so a lot of what we do is map what people already expect and just make sure that comes true in the healthcare environment. as far as the branding and the really unique things, there's a couple ways to do that. One of is we likely have something off the shelf that will suit their needs. And if that thing is not available, then we can work with them to create that really unique thing. And honestly, when I think about healthcare IT and where they should spend their time and energy, it's not reading about the new specs for the iPhone 17 and what the new motion processor is going to be like. They should spend their time thinking about what can I do to engage my catchment area that's really unique to our area. We know these people better than anyone else. Let me spend my time and energy doing that customized piece. And our best relationships are the ones where we bring in the foundational framework for the mobile app, and they do the piece that is really the cherry on top that makes the difference.
So Joshua, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you coming from into the, you obviously, I'm sure you did a lot of IT before and technology. How'd you get into this, being a CEO of a company? Tell us a little bit about yourself today.
Interesting story. I guess my claim to fame, I was on the original design team for Xbox back in the day. And that did really well, as you guys know, continues to do well. And really what I chose to do is when I sort of retired out of that industry, it had done well, but it was done well selling first-person shooters and bikini beach ball games, right?
Yep.
So I've got to somehow redeem myself, and certainly my legacy for my daughter. And so the idea was to take that engineering toolbox that I had, along with my co-founders, and apply that to some real-world problems. And we found ourselves suddenly in healthcare. This is back in 2013, so about a decade ago. And what can we use our engineering toolbox to solve? And we started off with wayfinding and running robots through hospitals and mapping them, and very quickly realized there was a need that included that was also much larger than that, around basically meeting people where they are, which is on mobile.
Well, it makes sense. Xbox and Microsoft. Microsoft is kind of in healthcare, so you're doing the right stuff.
When I came in to show how nerdy I am, I came in it through the hardware side. I was at NVIDIA.
Yeah.
So we were doing the chipset side of things.
So he's getting some search engine optimization going on with Microsoft and NVIDIA to get that AI. So he's a marketer too.
There's that background, yeah.
So who do you see as your big competitors?
That's a really great question. I think where we come in sometimes, and if we were to not get a particular deal, it would be because the hospital system has decided to either roll their own, which we're fully supportive of if they can do a good job. Baylor Scott White, for instance, they did their own mobile app. It's fantastic. They also have a ton of people dedicated to supporting it.
They have a massive scale and
they
really
do.
great capital. Sorry, and I know that gang. Yeah.
So it would be one like that. That would be competition. But for everyone else who wants similar performance and the wayfinding piece that we have really on the shelf ready to go, those are the ones that we go to. So there are the ones out there that we are fully supportive of, but those are few and far between who can stomach that sort of budget.
Got it.
When I think about healthcare as a patient, I think it's so frustrating to get an appointment, right?
Yeah.
I think it's so frustrating to get to that phone number to talk to whoever. So I imagine that's a big block that you're solving. Is that correct? Was part of the app, or yes or no?
100%, yeah. And it goes back to Neil's idea about the idea fairy coming down, right? Oftentimes when you first sit down, there's that we want to do this, and when Neil first shows up, we're going to say, welcome to the hospital, and your appointment's ready. Just get we're going to take you over to the cafe and grab really magical experiences. But we're still screwing up the easy stuff, right? Like, time out, folks. Let's go. Just give me time on my doctor's calendar. Let's remind me to get there. Just the easy things are still there and low-hanging fruit. Let's get those done. And then circle back to the really dreamy stuff, which we get excited about, but you got to get the fundamentals down. And we're still in that solving the fundamental stage at many systems today.
So where are you with the company, with capital raise, the vision, building the team? Tell us just about that.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Let's see. So I guess about 2 years ago, we took on our first venture capital. It was with Morgan Stanley. And they've been a phenomenal partner to us. They understand the space. They've made, a lot of times when you're talking to venture capital, they tell you, we're going to add more than just the money, Josh. We've got connections, and it's baloney. Right. Most of the time, it doesn't actually work out that way. I will say that Morgan Stanley's been a phenomenal partner in terms of actually getting into the trenches, rolling up sleeves, throwing elbows where we needed it, and really helping us sort of plow forward. So they are our financial partner with the company. With them, we've basically doubled in size and are passing through sort of that magical 10 million ARR mark that I think 3% of healthcare IT SaaS companies make it through. So we're proud of that. We're passing through that this year. So
No, it's amazing.
Well, man, this has been awesome, Joshua, to have you on, to share your vision, your story, and what you're doing, to have you live at VIVE on Planetary Health first, Mars next. As we wrap up, is there anything you want to shout out? Anything last minute you want to say?
I would say PowerPoint is easy. actually doing things in the real world is hard. So before you buy something, go test it, right? Be Missouri, show me. Go see it, talk to someone who's rolled it out, make sure it works for you. And I think that'll save you a lot of pain and heartache.
Well, you heard it. On Planetary Health first, Mars next. Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you, Neil. This has been a great day.
Michael, Neil, thank you for having me.
Thank you.